Welcome back to Mewni Mayhem. I'm Vox, and the mid-season finale of Star's final season has been revealed. Through episode titles, we know that episode 13, which is usually the mid-season point, will be a half-hour episode titled Cornonation. Obviously a play on words on the word Coronation, which by definition means the ceremony of crowning a sovereign or sovereign's consort, the latter meaning husband or wife. So I think we're going into this intending to be the coronation of Mewni's queen and king, so both Eclipsa and Globgor. Even though Eclipsa holds the title as queen at the moment, she does not have the crown, which we know she had at one point in time. If we look in the butterfly trap, when Eclipsa is questioned on if she abandoned King Shastakan and ran off to Globgor, she has her crown. There's quite a few things we can expect. For starters, unfortunately, River may have to finally give up the crown. He's been wearing it despite Eclipsa becoming queen, even as of the end of Moon Remembers. Sorry, River. I know you really like that crown, but it has to go. It's not yours to keep anymore. Yet for a half-hour mid-season finale, looking at the past mid-season finales, something big always happens. Ludo stealing the Book of Spells, and Glostric by extension. Miss Heinous discovering that she's really Meteora, Eclipsa's daughter, and beginning to revert to her half-monster form. You know, things the season has built up to. So I imagine the climax of this episode will be Globgor being liberated from his crystal and ideally being crowned King of Mewni. We even received an alleged episode description recently which reads, Star plans a coronation for Eclipsa to become queen. No mention of Globgor, but that could be due to spoilers, as the episode prior to Coronation is titled The Monster and the Queen. So I'm thinking either Globgor can be freed at the end of that as a big surprise, or what I'm more leaning towards is that episode will be entirely about Eclipsa and Globgor, their history, how they met, their romance, and how they got crystallized. Something touched on in the Book of Spells, but now we get to see it fully. And it's been a while since we had a flashback episode. But it's inevitable that by the end of this mid-season finale, disaster may strike. Not only do I believe we're going to see both the Magic High Commission and the general populace of Mewni have one last pushback against Eclipsa, trying to prevent her from legally becoming queen, but I think it may be a race to the throne. We know from trailers for the season that Ludo will be returning, seemingly as an antagonist, probably in an attempt to prove to himself that he's worthy of being a true villain, that he's not yet going to be a protagonist. I know the show was kind of leaning towards that aspect for a while, but I've suspected for the long haul that when he found himself in the void, he would realize, I don't need Toffee to be evil, I can be bad to the bone, and I'm going to do that right now. Thus, his overall plan may be to rebuild his monster army, as we've seen some of those familiar faces in trailers, and seize Eclipsa's coronation so that he himself can be crowned king. But Ludo's not at the end of it. No. My theory for this episode goes deeper. You guys already know I've been speculating for Toffee to return, and that we may see a brand new face, someone who was introduced into the Book of Spells, which a lot of its contents has already been making its way into season 4. Seth of Septarsis, a Septarian much like Toffee, and likely Toffee's master. Considering we've been getting a lot of mentions of Toffee, and Glostric saying to Star that maybe defeating Toffee was a mistake, I will stand by the fact that the suave business lizard man will make a triumphant return. We don't know much about his plan, but for one reason or another, he did want Ludo to conquer Mewni. So I believe either Toffee or Seth, or even both of them, will also be coming for that crown. Just a complete literal Game of Thrones. We could also consider Meteora, after all. Recent episodes have also been hinting that maybe she does remember the events of everything that transpired before reverting to a baby, that maybe she has a long-term plan. After all, she is a size shifter. I'm not banking too much on this, but there's always a possibility that, she actually didn't let go of anything she was saying in Divide and Conquer, that she still wants the kingdom of Mewni, and now she's manipulated her way up to the throne. Then of course, there's Moon. Who's to say she begins to feel uneasy, and decides that she herself wants to reclaim the throne, but now all these adversaries are running towards it. Let's not also forget about Star herself. herself. Someone who's denied the title of Queen of Mewni. Someone who, when she finally began to own it, decided, nah, Eclipsa, you can have it. A decision that a lot of people seem to be against. Even Moon herself. I think we've all made the obvious speculation that at one point or another, Star will, surprise, surprise, become Queen of Mewni. Maybe with all this mayhem amok for the throne, she decides, I'll just take it myself. But probably not yet. Actually, looking at other episode titles, it seems as if we're going back to Earth, so just how will this episode end? Don't worry, I do have some thoughts and ideas on that as well that I think I'll touch on another video. In general, I would feel kind of disappointed if they introduced Globgor or Seth, or reintroduce Toffee as actual walking, talking characters that contribute directly into the plot if it just ended up being in the last 2 episodes or so. I personally believe it would be a lot more enjoyable if these characters were introduced midway through the season, since there will only be 7 episodes left after this mid-finale. Which, oh my god, Star is almost over, because this just airs next month. The beginning of May is going to be the end of Star, and honestly, I hope they kind of do it in a way similar to Battle for Mewni. Come on, go for it. Those 4 or 5 episodes we have in May, just have them one giant story arc that builds off one after another, so Star can go out on the highest point possible. Needless to say, Coronation is going to be the turning point for a lot of things. I truly am hoping for it to be the craziest episode of Star, and that by the end, Eclipsa may not become queen, officially. Because think about it, isn't that pretty straightforward? I think out of all the candidates listed to become the new leader of Mewni, there's one in particular I can really get behind. But of course, we're going to save that for another video. But that brings us to a close for this one. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts, theories, and speculation on Cornonation? Do you think it'll be as crazy enough an episode as I think it might be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts to us at Roundtable Vids, and for my own thoughts, you can find me at OscarVlogs. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over on Patreon. We want to do bigger and better things. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable so you never miss any great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. OscarVlogs out.